Hey everyone, welcome to another Cats and Rats and BigCeaz Hangout. I'm your host Kirby Lupo, joined alongside my co-host BigCeaz, along with Cameron there and Cody Stevens. We're here today with Downstait lead singer Zack Call. How's it going, Zack?
Hey, how we doing, everybody? Excited to be here.
Absolute legend in the building.
Cody's a huge fan, and Cody has horrible taste in music, but I heard some of your tracks, and I think it has to be at the top of Cody's list for music. So I'm glad to bring on a musician that I can listen to and that Cody likes.
Oh, hell yeah.
And we do have something in common here, Zack. I used to play guitar. So nice. I don't know if you play guitar. So
I dabble in a little bit of everything, but for the majority of what I do, I just sing.
Yeah. And we got Cam here. He plays the bass, so he's a bass player too.
Nice.
Cody's the guy here with all the tracks and everything like that. So Cody, start us off.
I mean, well, first, like I'm musically inclined. I played saxophone growing up, still do sometimes, alto, baritone, whatever you need.
Nice.
But for those who don't know, like if you weren't a wrestling fan during like the mid 2010s, this man sang about 3-4 of the best theme songs out during that time. Alex Riley, Say It to My Face. Miz, I Came to Play, which is still being used today. Dolph Ziggler, Here to Show the World. And then the iconic now Kingdom with Cody Rhodes now. And it's absolutely insane to have him here because like this was like my music taste back when I was like in middle school or whatever. And it's just an absolute honor. And it's like I said, and also he's also somehow a Predators fan due to some connections that he has. Praying they get better soon for him because Barry Trotz is like boy, the Phil Jackson conundrum.
But I just want to give a shout out. I want to give a shout out to our guy Jack for bringing Zack on here today. You got any stories to share on our guy Jack Powell who calls?
Oh man, so my favorite story of all time. We lived with him when we wrote our second album. It's very funny. You know, the tight knit group that you get in the music world. Everybody kind of knows everybody a little bit. But the bond that I have, the band has with Jack specifically. We lived with him for that second album, creating that second album. It's right when we got signed to Universal Republic. It's right when we got Bully Beatdown on MTV and The Miz, I Came to Play. We were out on the road. We hadn't seen him in a couple years. Both of us had been chatting a little bit. He was excited to see that we were still out on the road. We talked in some town in the Midwest. I gave him a holler and I said, "Hey man, I got a day off, and then we're playing in somewhere close to Nashville." And he goes, "I'm on my way. You're gonna have to pick me up." So I didn't tell anybody in the band, and we went. We went and picked him up from the Nashville airport, and he was in. Now, mind you, this is 2012, and stuff had died down from 9/11, but like airport security is still like a thing. I picked Jack up, and he's in a full gi, because he's going to be our Ninja Tour master, and he had these guns, these popper guns, and he just started firing them off. And we're like, get in the car, man, we gotta go. We gotta go. So that's one of my favorite.
Awesome.
That sounds like a Jack thing. That sounds like Jack.
We're a big fan of his band, Madeline, back in the day. That's where we came across each other. We had the same producer. Jack is a lifelong friend. Love that dude to death.
So I had to give a shout out to Jack for bringing you on here today. And Zack, I just want to like you're sporting your Cincinnati Reds logo there. You often
disappointed.
You often hear that like athletes want to be musicians and musicians want to be athletes. Did that ever come across at any time in your life, and what manner?
So I was a good baseball player growing up. I actually had a coach. He was a former pro. He asked me something and it stuck with me for forever. And I coach now. And it kind of haunted me. And I thought that maybe he didn't handle it in the correct manner. I was the best player on the team since I was a freshman in high school, all conference kid. And I had to miss a doubleheader as a sophomore because I had a Battle of the Bands. I was going to be at the first game, but I had to do Battle of the Bands, a load in and a sound check or whatever. And he took me aside and he said, "Do you want to be you know, do you want to be a Major League Baseball player or do you want to be in Metallica? And I remember as a 15-year-old kid saying, why can't I try for both? And it always stuck with me, and I still pass that on to the kids, is to try it. You're 15. You don't know. So I would say that I had the ambition to be both. I wanted to be a big professional wrestler, was the other one that I wanted to be. But I was lucky and given enough talent. I work hard, but I was given enough talent to try to do both of those avenues. And then at the end of the day, instead of going to college for baseball, we signed a deal with Universal. So I got very, very lucky, but that I would say that holds very, very true. The athlete and the musician thing, for sure.
Oh yeah, it's look, because there ain't that many athletes, well, if any, that are pretty good musicians at any rate.
That we know of, right?
That I can't think of. Like when you say athlete to musician, my first instinct goes to Carl Banks, like singing like the national anthem. And that joke was so god awful.
No, it's one of the best national anthems of all time, man.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
It's second to the guy who did
Carl Lewis.
Yeah.
I think,
Carl
right?
Lewis. Why am I saying Banks? Like, oh, well.
Yeah, it's yeah.
But yeah, Carl Lewis. But it's second to the guy that sang the Canadian national anthem for Game 6, the final. Oh, Canada! Like it's Kirby's favorite. Like Kirby texted me like
out of Canada like that. Yeah.
Like Kirby texted me like when puck drop, I'd be like, "Who the hell is this guy singing this national anthem?"
No.
But Zach, I mean, a world-class musician you are, and I kind of want to go this because we are a hockey channel. We all love hockey. I mean, and you are, as mentioned earlier, a National Predators fan. So I just want to ask you, like, what's been like with your Predators fandom? Like how long have you been a fan of the team? Were you there for when they made that cup run, like those years ago where they lost to Pittsburgh? I could tell by the face you were, because that disappointment just went right across.
So for the most part, it's whatever. I'm involved more when they're winning more. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, if anything, I follow baseball, football. That's what I coach more. That's where
who's your football team?
Detroit Lions.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm from Indiana. Anything surrounding Indiana, I don't want to live. I'm too close to home with the fans here, and I get a little jaded on some of their opinions because they're homer so much for them that it clouds their view on stuff. But with the Preds, man, when they're good, I'm more involved. It's definitely third or fourth sport in my repertoire. But yeah, when they're better, I'm more involved. Whenever they're posting our music, I definitely am more involved. I want to get down there during one of these games and hear it live for sure.
Yeah, we got to get you to throw a catfish on the ice.
Absolutely,
point, huh?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I was gonna say that's got to be on the bucket list.
Yeah.
Yep.
New Panther fans aren't going to understand this, but Florida Panthers and Detroit Lions, very close parallels through the years. It's just Detroit Lions now for that next step is to get to that Super Bowl and finally win that first championship. Mm-hmm. But those two organizations were at the bottom of the North American sports institutions and now kind of elite run. So it's interesting to see where
I just realized they were probably both really bad around the same time.
Yeah. And then when the Lions were good, that was before the Florida Panthers were in the NHL.
Yeah,
so you kind of see that.
Like the Lions were like okay, like were good when they had Barry Sanders and they had this quarterback by the name of Scott Mitchell. Big lefty, former Dolphin, by the way. Now we're in like the basement of the sports world now. The Dolphins are like down here now.
Yeah.
But
it's okay. I'm a Cowboy fan.
What did you think of that getting Fitzpatrick back?
I was shocked by it.
Yeah, it's not that it makes no sense. It's that what we gave up, I still don't feel like it was worth it. And I'm an FIU guy too, so losing Jonnu Smith like really hit right there.
Yeah, Jonnu had a sneaky good year last year too, so that is tough.
And I'm a Florida State guy, so seeing Ramsey go the other way kind of just. Man. But it was time, and for Johnny, I'm like, okay. And speaking of that, and guess what? We bring in another failed musician. Let's talk about it right now with Darren freaking Waller over here. And
I did see that.
Like, and now like hockey music, I can't even think of like any hockey player that even tried to be like Ovi this year with the bands will make her dance thing.
Or what about Biz singing Joseph Wall instead of Wonderwall? Does that count too?
Yeah.
No. I think I kicked his ass the whole playoff series anyway.
Oh yeah. Little.
There were some guys definitely back in the day, kind of in the rock band stuff. I don't know if it's Mike Comrie, Cody, but like, how does that happen, Zach? When your music is going to be played in buildings, stadiums, arenas? Like, how's that process to walk everyone through that?
So, for the most part, if the song's popular enough and the guy in the arena wants to use it, I have no say behind that. If it's played on TV and I hear it in the stadium, it's just considered ambient noise. I'm more flattered than anything. We want it to be everywhere, but I don't really have a say in that. I've made some connections where I know certain people are going to use it. As far as like, there might be something that's coming up here this week where it's going to be over the broadcast. I get informed of that, and there's licensing that has to go. There's splits on the song because I didn't write the entirety of, let's just say, Kingdom. That's the one that is used the most. Others have been used, but Kingdom is the big one. When that is licensed out, there's paperwork, there's lawyers, there's all the above. It's kind of it's not ugly, but it's the boring part of rock and roll. But yeah, we may or may not have just had a process like that for an event that's happening tomorrow.
Hey,
yeah.
Wink, wink. I wonder what event's happening tomorrow. Because like, if we think about it, wrestling theme songs and hockey have always been intertwined together. But the Panthers years ago, but when the game started, they used Triple H's theme song.
Mm-hmm.
Like when Puck Drop happened. Heck, the Vegas Golden Knights, when they get scored on, play Shinsuke Nakamura's theme song.
Every time I see someone drop the gloves at the arena, you hear John Cena.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Right.
It's like always intertwined, like rock and roll, hockey, and like somehow wrestling, because that's just how it works. Like, that's like one thing, because like I said, I grew up on hip hop, but like hockey is not a hip hop type of sport. Never has been, never will be. Hockey and like rock, like as you have, will always be intertwined, if you ask me, because it's a lot more like rugged, more like tough. Like, that's just the vibe I get from it. Like, where like, football is a lot more hip hop and like basketball can be. It's just hockey's like just rock and roll, just classic.
Nashville, though, Cody plays DMX a lot and different stuff.
Oh yeah, like I went to a game.
They're country town, just like where I'm from, in Calgary, but they'll hit some hip hop.
Like, I went to a Predators game this year during the deadline. That's why I wasn't on the stream. So, and they played the Blackhawks, and God, that game was so bad. That game was so bad. But they won in overtime, and like they played Kingdom like 3 times.
That's awesome.
And like, and I'm like, huh? And like, I said it was something like I bet they have some like because I always knew Downstait wrote it, so I'm like, they probably have something with Downstait. And now it's funny, I just figured out how they have like the connection.
He's the homie. I do want to just get, like you said though, the connection between rock and NHL specifically is probably the strongest bond as far as rock and any other sport. Flyers were the first one, whoever their sound guy is, we never found out. The Flyers were the first one to ever play us in an arena.
I was going to say,
unless the rest of it was coming out.
That's kind of leading into my question, Zach. What was it like when you first found out your song was actually played in the arena? How did that moment feel?
So, you mean on television with the wrestler, or do you mean like at a game that I was unaware of?
We'll do both. Both.
So the MTV thing that we had going on with Universal, that was cool. We were getting some traction, and we were very, very open about our fandom. Like I said, I wanted to be a wrestler, and I just have always been a big fan of Jim Johnston, and I wanted to somehow, big bucket list for me up to that point, 18 years, was to do something for WWE. They came calling after we did the theme song for MTV, and it was for The Miz. When that happened, I was really, really emotional, very, very happy. They told us they don't ever tell us when they're going to use it after we record it. They say, hey, we got a job for you. You do it. And then if it's used, it's used. If it's not, they don't tell you they're not using it. So after we were doing our album, we had this job opportunity with the Miz. We did it. We went home. We're at home for 4 weeks, and Miz comes out with the United States title, and he's using the song. So like that was overwhelming for me because it was unexpected. We at that point I had all the negative thoughts of maybe they didn't use it, maybe they didn't pick it. Dang, that's the end of the run. It was a good run. At least we got the opportunity. And then as far as like the flyers, because it was I Came to Play that they used around the same time when Miz was kind of blown up initially. They use that, and it's laughable. And I say that in the best way possible. It's just like a wow, can't believe this is happening type of thing that these are reaching these heights. So yeah, man, I'm an emotional dude, but like those moments are always so cool. I remember where I'm at for all of them when it happens for the first time.
We got a clip to show Zach here. I don't know if he saw it today or not, Caesar. Speaking of the Miz, speaking of also a football player that kills my team and Caesar's team, the Dallas Cowboys, and George Kittle. This happened earlier.
Majority of the 49ers kill y'all's team, so it'll make a difference. But hey. Bang.
This was at a golf tournament at Lake Tahoe.
Yeah, the AMC, which Matthew Tkachuk competed at this week as well. You should have saw his. Did you see Kirby? Did you see who his partners were for the round the other day?
No,
Jerry Rice and Vince Carter.
Holy cow!
And a former hockey player, Joe Pavelski, was in the tournament.
He won the tournament, actually.
Did he win it? Okay.
Yeah, so he won it. But the one thing I loved about Zach and his band's music is the fact that when you hear a Downstait song or a theme song, it's used 5+ years. It ages very well with their characters. Because Miz started using it like 2010. Mm-hmm. It's 2025. He's still using the exact same song. And like Ziggler, same thing. Like Ziggler used like Dolph Ziggler, if for those who don't know, had like this. It was the same song from like 2009, and he used it all the way up to his departure, like 2019, 2020.
Wow.
So like their music ages very well, and look, it's in some way somehow it's become very synonymous with hockey now, because hockey because a lot of hockey fans discovered their music taste through the earlier video games, whereas the old Panthers goal song, Jimmy Eat World.
Nice. Like what? That was actually going to be my question actually for Zach. So if you don't mind me cutting in here, Cody. So
no, go right ahead.
Big record guy here. So Zach, you mentioned Midwest. I'm a big Midwest emo guy. Rate this album 1 to 10. Bleed American. This is that Sweetness song that a lot of Panther fans don't like, but a lot of Panther fans still ride or die for.
I love that.
Sweetness is the first song that I sang in front of anybody ever.
Yes.
So
yes. Anytime there's karaoke, that's our song right here.
I fell in love with that. I'm a bigger fan of the Futures album, if I'm being honest. But yeah, Sweetness has a big place in my heart. I was starting. It was right around, I want to say 6th grade, 7th grade for me. That song was hitting our airwaves in the Midwest, which probably means it was a year old already. I fell in love with that. It was right in my pocket where I felt like everything I was singing was huge, and you'd get kind of a response out of anybody that knew the song when it's a call and response type of thing. It was that, The Red by Chevelle, and A Puddle of Mud, the She Hates Me by Puddle of Mud were the 3 songs that I knew verbatim just because I listened to the radio enough. But those are the 3 songs that I started singing in front of people. And it got a response, and I was like, "Oh, I might be good at this." Even before me and my brother had guitars and were playing together. My brother's also in the band, so that specifically the album, I think Futures is better, but Sweetness is huge for me.
Like
Cam brought some good music to the table there, Cody.
Yeah, but my music taste is all over the place. I can go from genre to genre. You could just light up a bingo hall and get all the 6-year-olds get ready to play bingo. So
No, that's Rick Levine. No, I got Rick.
Look, because here's the thing, because like I was gonna bring up one band, and I bet you don't even know. I know this guy, but Danko Jones has one of my favorite songs ever, which is "Full of Regret," and I only know that, and I know that song because my favorite game of all time is NHL Slapshot, and that song was on there, one of my favorites ever, and one of my favorite bands growing up. Zach probably know this one, Breaking Benjamin. I love Breaking Benjamin growing
I
up.
love Benjamin, dude. Thank you, Cody. Nobody really knows who they are.
Yeah, and by the way, like the only album better than the one Cameron showed was Phobia by Breaking Benjamin. That one was album has no skips. You see, Kirby, I have music taste. I know exactly what I'm talking about here.
I know Zach plays video games on his downtime with Jack. So Zach, what would that be like to have your music featured in a game or have like a partnership with a video game company? What would that be like for you?
So we just partnered with Fortnite earlier this year for Kingdom. And we've had now 6 songs in either WWE or 2K games. So that's stupid. Talk about another emotional moment. That for sure. As much as I played video games growing up, that's how I found Breaking Benjamin. Actually, was the SmackDown vs. Raw games.
Yeah.
They had quite a bit of that Phobia album, and then I believe the We Are Not Alone album. Both were featured. WWE just kind of used them. They used Saliva. They used Blackstone Cherry for a while. Yeah, they had their guys that they trusted, and they kept putting them in video games. And now we're kind of those guys a little bit. But yeah, growing up with the video games, as much as I liked them, first time we got in one, that was another big emotional moment for me for sure.
Which game is your favorite currently? Like
what I'm playing?
Yeah, what are you playing?
It would be the show, for sure.
Yes, sir. Let's go, baby.
Yeah, I'm a humongous Ninja Turtle fan.
Yeah.
As well.
Nice.
So,
who was your favorite Ninja Turtle all time?
Yeah, I heard you got some ink there. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
I'm Mikey, but
got one touched up as well.
Yeah.
Donatello for me.
Nice. Donnie's number 2 for me.
I'm Leo.
Nice. I got another tat planned here. You guys remember the scene in the 1990 movie where Leo's watching over Raph?
Such a classic.
Such a classic. And April's drawing that, so I'm going to get that piece on my chest. I love the Ninja Turtles. It means more for me. It's a family dynamic, is why why me and my brothers bond over it. But yeah, I'm doing that. That's another one. I can go back and play any Ninja Turtle game at any given time. Me and my older brother pride ourselves on and beating every single one. So now Splinter with the nephews, that's the next goal. Is
Zach, the original arcade game, I cannot tell you how many quarters, Canadian quarters, I got from my parents just playing at the rink when my brother was on the ice, just pumping that and the Simpsons one.
Oh yeah, dude,
they're
incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Like, because I was just playing the show earlier today, so I mean, I gotta get my grind back on. I haven't played in like 2 weeks, but especially with these all-star cards coming out. But once again, it's an absolute honor to have you on, because once again, one of my favorite bands ever. Like they may be known for Kingdom, but please go check out "Say It to My Face," "I Came to Play," "Here to Show the World," and all their other songs from the discography. It's all amazing. All
put the links in the description below after. So yeah, for sure.
But it's so crazy how much Kingdom's blown up for you guys. Like,
it's a gold record.
Like, it's probably gonna be platinum soon. Like,
well, it's on the cusp of gold, but it'll be there by the end of.
What's the total amount of plays it's been? It's like in the millions, right?
Oh,
Panthers fever is here.
Sorry about
Kingdom
that.
hit 75 million. My birthday is the 4th. It hit 75 million.
Happy
on
belated.
Spotify alone, on the 4th. When it combines with YouTube and all the above, we're at like $250 million on that one alone.
Like hold on. It just played on my phone, but I just want to look. Yeah, it's at 75 million streams right now, and I'm Game to Play is 13 million, right under it.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely insane. But
so, Zach, before we let you go, any your show last night, any shows upcoming, anything to kind of plug here? Let us know.
Nope. So just please go. Thank you guys again for having me on. Yeah, go check us out on Spotify. Hear us. Not only WWE but AEW. We do songs over there as well. We got a few artists upcoming, a few on the indies, including Indy Hartwell. I love her to death. Her song was a lot of fun.
Oh, Indy
Check us
Hartwell.
out everywhere. Follow us. Please interact with us. We always get back with the fans. And thank you guys again so much for having me on.
Appreciate having you on. Another shout out to
Zach.
Jack.
And anytime you're in South Florida, just let us know. We'll definitely
Absolutely,
be down
brother.
there now.
Sounds
All
good.
Yeah, now I gotta go. But Zach, appreciate you having us on. And before we move on to our next guest here, let's hear from a word from our sponsor, Caneswear.
Panthers fever is here. Are you geared up? Caneswear in Davie is the place for all your Florida Panthers needs. They have the latest gear for our favorite NHL team. Jerseys, polos, t-shirts, hoodies, hats, and more. Caneswear has you covered. Stop by their store in Davie or at pantherswear.com. Again, that's pantherswear, WEAR.com for all your Panthers gear.
And just another shout out to our other sponsor, Jeremy Beckham. Hey, Panther fans in South Florida, need real estate help? Check out Jeremy Beckham with Next Home Treasure Coast. It's a boutique service with a personal touch. Jeremy and his team put humans over houses, working hard for you, whether you're buying or selling. Ready to move? Hit up BeckSellsFLA.com. Again, that's BeckSellsFLA.com or call 772-475-5371 now. You'll be glad you did. And now our next guest, he's returning Cats and Rats community member here. Always gives me shout outs in my tweets, always following stuff during Panther season here. Former Fox Florida Sports host, Frank Forte. How's it going, Frank?
Very good. Thank you, guys. And a good Sunday afternoon / evening to you.
Yep. Back to back, Frank. We did it.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Well, I mean, anybody who's followed this team, and I was in local news in Miami, doing sports when the franchise started. So I've been around for day one. I went to Fox Sports Florida in 2005. And in my 11 years there, where I did, ringside reporting, I did pregame hosting, producing Inside the Panthers, producing pre and post games. And they went to the playoffs twice in those 11 years. I thought it was a long shot that I'd see one cup in my lifetime. To see back to back, I feel like I'm living in a parallel universe almost.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there had to have been times, especially in your position, where you would look out into the crowd and you would think that there might not be a time where something like this is even possible,
Oh, no doubt. I mean, we went through those years where there was, 5,000 or 6,000 people there against Ottawa on a Tuesday night. And, now but the thing is, those 2 years that they did make the playoffs, I mean, I'll never forget the game 7 against
Marcel Gotch.
When the overtime, nobody sat for the entire overtime. The entire crowd, it was packed, and the entire crowd was on their feet. So we knew if the product on the ice ever matched that enthusiasm, then you'd have something special. And, Ceaz, I know you were, I don't know about last year, I know you were at the parade this year. To see
both years
come out, it was remarkable.
It was incredible. And last year, I don't know if you saw the video where Paul Maurice got out of the bus, gave me a hug.
Yes.
And then this year, for Matthew Tkachuk to get me involved to be a part of the parade, it's just overwhelming. And literally, I keep saying to myself, it can't get any better, but it seems to get better and better every year.
Well, hopefully that trajectory continues, right? I mean, think about this, guys. When you go back to the year that they won the President's Cup and won a playoff series for the first time in over 20 years, with that season, it's been 4 seasons. And they've played, I don't know the exact number, but it's got to be 400 games.
Oh, easily.
That's a lot of hockey.
Yeah.
And that takes a toll. And to make a final 3 straight years, I know Tampa did it, but, at least one of those was a shortened season, right? With the bubble season in 2020.
Yeah.
To make it 3 straight years and for the players to be able to push through the physical and mental challenges that takes really is something. I mean, I tell people all the time, look, don't take this for granted because it just doesn't happen. This is very rare air. So, those of us who have been around since day one and in the Cup final and after year 3, and then that long dry spell. It's really just soak it in and enjoy it and absorb it.
They're adding more teams now, and Gary Bettman wants to have more, so it makes it even harder to accomplish what the Panthers are.
I'm not really in favor of expansion. I'm not in favor of 84 games either. I think there's plenty of hockey as it is. When you add in, the Olympics next year, we had the 4 nations this year. I mean, there's more than enough hockey, and to me, there's plenty of teams. I know the Players Union probably wants it because that's more jobs.
Yeah,
both at the NHL and the AHL level.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think 32 is probably the sweet spot.
Yeah, but the 84 games, I like it because it evens out the divisional games.
I understand that. I just think there's more than enough hockey to ask these guys. If it's the NBA where you have the load management thing, but that really doesn't exist in the NHL. The Panthers did it a little bit the last 10 games of the regular season this year, but it's not a regular thing. I get what you're saying about the divisional thing, and I do want to see every team at least once in each market.
Yeah.
But I just think going beyond 82, you're really pushing it.
And I don't like how they're elongating the schedule either, Frank. I've been with Pierre LeBrun on this one with TSN. They never want to go up against head-to-head against football. Week 2 of the NFL, week 3 of the NFL. You can get hockey start to get going here. I don't understand why they're not doing it,
I agree. I mean, they're going to cut down the preseason games, which they should, make training camp shorter. You're talking about what this season lasted until when? What was game 6?
June 17th.
June 17th. I mean, think about how short the off season is for those guys that played in the final for both teams, right?
Yeah.
And the guys that are hurt, like Tkachuk, he's got barely any time to recover or try to recover, and he undergoes surgery.
Frank knows that football is the most physical sport, but look how much time those guys get off compared to hockey.
Right.
It's not even.
They're not playing every other night.
Yeah.
And football, I think you need more preseason in football than you do hockey. And hockey, there's just too many games that you don't necessarily need to have a winning record in the beginning. Towards the end, maybe the last 2 months.
Yeah.
Like in football, you really need to start off the season well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you have fewer and fewer chances to, if you go 3 or 4 games without a win, let's say you start off 1-4, you've got very few chances to recover from that. You got to go on a really big time run in the NFL to get back from something like that.
And football's so systematic too.
An overwhelming theme that I keep hearing from a lot of pundits is that they shortened the preseason so much, and you have so much sloppy quarterback play, so much sloppy defensive play, poor tackling the first couple of weeks that it still looks like they're playing preseason football out there. Yeah. So these guys aren't really practicing hard either. So at the start of the season, they've only got 2 preseason games, and realistically, your starters are playing a drive. They're playing 5-6 plays at maximum for 3 weeks, and then you're thinking that they're going to go out there and be in full sync, like you're saying, Cody. It's so systemic. You have to be in rhythm. You got to be in sync.
Back on the games front, ever since, because Frank mentioned that ever since the start of the President's Trophy year, because after the start of President's Trophy was the first year we got back to 82 games after the whole COVID ordeal. The Panthers have played 406 games since the start of that season.
Yeah.
So averaging about 100 games a year.
406.
Yeah.
406.
That's insane.
I knew it was right around 400. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I did the math. Just 82 times 4, and then I remembered how each series ended.
Yeah.
So it was
Can I blow your guys' minds for a second here?
Sure.
I like when you do.
We were talking about NFL preseason. Now I'm much older than you guys. When I was a kid, but growing up in Pennsylvania, they played 14 regular season and 6 preseason games.
All right, that's not
Look
a
it
good.
up.
Oh,
That is not a good mix.
Look it up.
That is not a good mix. But
All I remember is 4 or 5 at most.
I think
and that was a time. That was a time when the Dolphins were undefeated, right? During those.
Well, I'm talking. Let's see. I'm talking probably the 60s, early 70s.
Yeah, the Dolphins went undefeated 72.
73, yeah.
And then
Because I believe that they had, I think, They were 14-0 in the regular season,
Right.
And the playoffs, they were
17-0 total.
3-0, right?
Yeah.
17-0 total.
Yeah, and
Yep.
like, but on the Panthers front, and now it's like all of a sudden, like Frank, you've seen it before, like, and this whole state tax thing, and I've seen it everywhere, and it drives all of us up a wall, right? Because we were all here, and no state tax has been here since the inception of the Panthers.
Correct.
And from 2000 to 2021, no one wanted to play here.
Never heard it.
And another
Never
thing,
heard
and another
state
thing.
tax mentioned in that time. Never.
And what about the other sports? It's never mentioned in baseball.
Right.
It's never mentioned in football, where you have a
Well, our
hard
owner's
salary
broke
cap
in
as
baseball.
well.
That didn't help.
It just
that's
drives
fair.
me crazy. Is it a factor? Sure. Is it the biggest factor? Not even by a mile. It's not. Okay. It's just so ridiculous when a franchise finally gets its act together and is solid from the ownership all the way down to, the people that lock the doors of the arena at night. They just don't, for some reason, some of these people just don't want to give that organization credit for making themselves into a top level elite organization. I don't know why. I don't know whether some of these, I personally think some of these people, no offense, Kirby, north of the border, really still don't feel that Sunbelt states deserve teams.
Mhm.
I mean, that's the vibe that I get from some of these people.
And Tampa was good for so long,
Gatekeeping.
Frank. They couldn't have two teams in the state of Florida being good.
Right.
One was enough. Two,
Right.
Yeah. And
now you're pushing it, right?
Yeah.
because
Kirby gets that because he gets it from his family from time to time
Yeah.
and people around him.
Yeah.
But again, you try to go down those paths of conversation and where does it get you? But Dale Talent said this, Frank. But what players were coming to play for us when we weren't good? It wasn't like he was bringing in Patrick Kane from Chicago.
No.
Right?
He was
really
bringing in
did.
Dave Boland.
And Chris
Yeah, it was-
Versteeg, yeah.
Hey,
Quite a ways
Yeah.
away.
Well, Versteeg was a pretty decent player, but I mean, Dave Boland,
Yeah.
I was ready to, if they would have let me, I would have driven him to the airport to get
Yeah,
him.
I would have been with you.
Hey, he could have hopped on my chair. I would have taken him.
And we had to give up Lawson Krause to get rid of the contract.
yeah.
No, he had a down year this year, but the last 2 years, I mean, he's pretty good.
But he
NHL
would fit
player.
in with this team, though. Power forward, physical, could play
Yeah.
on the boards. Like, he could play in this system. But it's like, the thing that drives me nuts is like, oh, we had the state tax thing. Well, we had to overpay all these guys to get them come here.
Right.
Like, Anton told me we had to get.
Dave Bolin on Twitter at the time, Frank, was clowning on the Panthers organization. He took all the money and he's just laughing to the bank. He didn't care.
Here's the guy that infuriates me is Jason Demers, because we gave him all that money.
Mhm.
And he's dissing us, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna be the Oilers guy." The Oilers gave you one game.
Right.
We gave you $25 million.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like-
Which,
So
we
did
will
it
pay
matter?
for a while, but
Like,
And
yeah, the state tax thing, guys, just drives me up a tree. It really does.
And
like,
kind of going back to that state tax thing too, isn't it true that if the players play in a state that's being taxed,
Yes.
they're being taxed as well?
Yes.
So-
So 41 games a year, they have to pay that state tax for that state that the game
Right.
actually takes place in.
Exactly. So there you go. It's not all state tax free.
Right.
So
yeah.
if it was, then everyone would be going to play in Seattle right now.
Like
Right.
if it was a thing, the Marlins would be the best baseball team in the world. But no, like, you're driving me nuts with that. And like,
Yeah.
like, I want to talk about still the basement. I mean,
Yeah.
like they just made their draft pick, but that was my reaction just now because I wanted them to pick another guy from Florida State. You know what I'm saying?
I was going to
Go
say, are
Noles.
you okay there, Curtis?
Yeah, no. I wanted them to take Jamie Arnold. They took a shortstop from college. So I'm fine with that. No high school kid, but like that's a team right there. Like if you want to go no income, that team should be dominating. Then
Yeah.
Right. But players know, that it's not a good it's not a well-run organization.
yeah, and
And we
No.
got to give credit to the Benny Viola family. They
Absolutely.
literally changed the program, the way they train in the practice facility, using the War Memorial, the old War Memorial, and creating a great practice facility for them to, where it's like minutes from their house. They could either bike, take their golf carts to the practice rink, and then if they want to go to the beach after, it's right there too.
Not only that, it's a great community space as well with them renovating the concert venue. Now you've got all the rinks that are public use. They've got the street hockey rinks outside as well, the team store.
I'm so
invested
damn
in the
jealous of
community,
these
not
kids
just the
now.
team.
I'm so damn jealous. Because when I played in these rinky-dink behind rinks like the Pembroke Pines Ice Rink. That's where I grew up playing. That's not anywhere close to what they got now. They got the whole pro shop now.
I lived
Cody,
in
it builds
Pennsylvania
character.
for 18 years. I know that rink very well.
Like,
hey, I go back to when they used to practice at that rink in Lighthouse Point. Which
my
was
goodness.
Real.
Oh, wow.
Like I hate that arena because I remember this one moment where I'm carrying the puck up the ice, and the ice isn't flat there. It's pretty freaking bad. It's like a road under construction, I call it. And I'm taking it up ice. Puck hops over my stick, goes the other way, and it's a turnover, and it ends up in the back of our net. And I get a -1 because the ice is bad. Like that always stuck in my craw.
Hey, I just want to go back for a second. You mentioned Vinny Viola, and I remember he came in as the owner, and every owner that buys a sports team says we're in it to win championships. We're going to win. In Vinny's case, we're going to win Stanley Cups. And I'm sure a lot of people just rolled their eyes because of the history of the organization. But man, he has backed up 110% everything he said that franchise was out to do. So, major kudos to him. He has spared no expense. He's built the players, the practice rink. And Paul Maurice said it. Hey, if the chicken on the plane isn't good, we're getting new chicken. It's down to those details.
Yeah,
I love Paul Maurice.
Yeah, I mean, he wins the press conference every time.
Oh yeah. And now people hate him up north.
And he did what he set out to do, and to do it twice. So, who's to say they're not done?
And kind of going to back you up on that, Frank. Meeting him in the elevator in 2016 when they were playing the New York Rangers in December. And he gave me the opportunity to go into the locker room with the players, and just him interacting with the players, like showing how much he cared. I believe Buke's dad was injured that year, and he was in the training room making sure he was getting better and talking to the training staff, and just those little things I saw. And I'm like, man, this guy really cares. I feel something special is going to happen.
Yeah. So, and he's not always there. He's around, but when he is, he doesn't seem like he's intrusive. He leaves the hockey to the hockey guys.
Yeah.
Right. And the business side and the fans and that sort of thing. Yeah, he makes sure everything's on the up and up there. But you never hear about him sticking his nose into the hockey side of things. Yeah, I know Jerry Jones is the owner and the general manager of the Cowboys. I always bring this up. What other owner / general manager does press conferences after every game?
None of them.
Nobody else does that.
That's mine and Caesar's guy, Jerry Jones there. But as a coach myself, I had a Jerry Jones owner too that was over my shoulder and on the bench and all that. So I've experienced it firsthand in a lot of ways.
The one thing I do like about Viola is when he came in, owners want to come and put their stamp on the team, whatever. When he bought the team in 2013, they were like going through their rebuild or whatever. And, in 15, 16, they ended up making the playoffs. And this decision, I'm not sure if he was he had to be a part of the decision. But the one mistake that he made was moving talent away from day-to-day hockey ops and then bringing in talent, all the analytic guys, and kind of really setting us back by about a year or two. And then learning from that, he brought back talent to kind of reset everything, but he learned from the mistake when he hired Bill Zito. Yeah. That is something I like in an owner, because a lot of owners are very stubborn.
Yeah, and to be fair, they do use analytics. Sonny Maida, ATM,
they do.
They're involved in decisions, but it doesn't seem like they're the ones steering the ship as
it's not overriding.
Back when you mentioned the 2013-14 type era, the Tom Rowe and the analytics guys.
Those are all
flashbacks right there, man.
That's PTSD. I'm sorry I said
that.
A bunch of those guys went to write for the Vancouver Canucks Army website or blog or something. It was a very weird time. They were everyone in the room. I liked it at the time, Frank, because I heard a lot of inside stuff. So they literally had the doors open to everyone. And then that kind of changed when talent came back in. And then they kind of changed operations there with Zito and everything.
And Zito, you
Now
don't
it's
hear
hard
a
to hear
peep
anything.
now.
Now it's hard to hear much of anything.
Yeah, Zito, you don't hear a peep because they just keep everything closed doors. Zito has his system or whatever. But here's the thing: like analytics are a damn good tool, and the Panthers use them, and they use them correctly. But my thing is with analytics is that shouldn't be your be all end all.
Right, correct.
Like, because you got to have someone that knows hockey in your front office. Where like me and Kirby already don't like the GM in Carolina already.
Yeah,
because it's decisions based off a chart, not on ice. Like you could use the chart to project on ice,
right?
But once you're on ice, like
it doesn't measure what's in a guy's heart, right? What kind of heart he has, what kind of drive he has. Yeah. It doesn't measure intangible things.
Which is another reason why I think Bill Zito overpaid, which a lot of people think we overpaid for Bennett. But because he sees those qualities in Bennett to keep him on the team rather than just looking at analytics and stats and stuff.
And what I would say in response to that is, might it be somewhat of an overpay? Yes. But you know what? If we didn't, somebody would have overpaid him more.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Bennett would only be worth his deal here because I don't feel like he could go elsewhere and be what Sam Bennett is here. Because if he goes to elsewhere, I think they're going to ask more out of him.
Yeah.
More ask him to kind of drive a line, carry a line, say, first power play. And that's not Sam Bennett. We've watched him for the last 3 years. Sam Bennett's not a power play guy. At least I don't think so. He may have scored power play goals, but he doesn't look at home on the power play. He's at home 5-on-5 where there's carnage. He can move around and kind of just he's a great player in chaos. That's I like to put it.
And there are probably a few organizations where he would also be as good as he is here, but I would venture to say you could count them on one hand and not need all 5 fingers.
And where would they be in the standings, Frank? That would be my
yeah.
But Frank, what did you think of the bringing back the band? We had this on our latest Cats and Rats podcast episode. Marshawn with Bennett that we just alluded to there, and then Ekblad. That was kind of the surprise one.
Yeah, I was surprised that they were able to keep all 3. I thought for sure they'd lose one of them. I thought they'd keep 2 of the 3. The fact that Ekblad was willing to take that much less money for the max term, and look, we all know that Ekblad, he has his WTF moments, right? But a right shot guy that plays first pair minutes, that plays power play, that plays PK, those guys don't grow on trees. I think he would have been very hard to replace.
You literally took the words out of my mouth, Frank.
Those type of minutes. And I think Seth Jones is much better suited to that second pair role than he would be on the first pair with Forsling, although Gus makes everybody better that he plays with, right?
Right.
But I just think Eck would have been harder to replace than a lot of the fans think.
Oh, yeah. I thought out of the 3, he would have been the hardest to replace.
Yes.
Because people would say Bennett, but the thing is, I have more confidence in Zito finding a center because if you look at his tenure, he values the center position the most. Because when he came into
Carolina doesn't. Right?
I mean, Carolina doesn't value anything. I mean, like those idiots. But like I said, like people hate Tampa, you hate Toronto. I hate Carolina. Like I hate those bastards. I can't stand them, and it's because of those Southeast Division days. I can't stand them.
Yeah.
Like you could like
and that building was a house of horrors for the Panthers.
Oh my goodness! That in Atlanta, we could not win in Atlanta to save our lives.
Yeah,
like Hosek killed us, Kovalchuk killed us, Pavlik killed us. Like
Danny Heatley.
There you go.
Oh my goodness!
There's a name out of it.
Either Calgary Canucks legend.
Did you guys like the picture I sent you?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know if Caesar has it handy there. Frank, I was thinking of putting pre-day one Barkov truther because you told me you talked to him before the draft that year.
Right.
But what a draft that was. McKinnon, Jones, Barkov.
Yeah, it was McKinnon, Barkov, Drouin, Jones.
Yeah.
Was that draft. And we were doing Inside the Panthers and he let us in the room for several of the interviews that they did the day before at the hotel in New York. The draft was in Newark, at the Devils rink. And, he let us in for Barkov. And after Barkov left the room is when I interviewed him. And I have that picture. I blew it up to an 8x10, and I had him sign it at Caneswear when he did the signing.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So my fanboy moment there. I'm wearing the 16, as you can see. But when Barkov left that interview, some of the scouts were like, does he have the personality to be a star in this league? And Scott Luce stood up, the head scout at the time, and he said, guys, think about this. His answers were short, but he didn't avoid anything. He looked us straight in there's the picture. Yeah, this was the day before the 2013 draft. Said he looked us in the eye, he answered every question, and he's speaking in his third language because parents are Russian, born in Finland. So those were his first two languages, and English as an 18-year-old was still his third language. And, enough of the guys in the room, and then Dale re-looked at his highlights again, and Dale said, yeah, this is the guy we got to take.
Yeah.
But I remember at one point they asked him, well, what do you know about our team? And he said, that Huberdeau, he's a pretty good player.
And he said Kulikov too. He said,
But
There we go.
yeah, but
There you go.
that broke up the room quite a bit. But you know what? And one scout said, look, if there's a way to trade for the number 1 pick and grab McKinnon, do it because he's a franchise changer.
Yeah.
And he was.
Yeah.
But I certainly would argue that Barkov certainly had a big hand in changing this franchise around.
oh yeah.
A little bit different type of player, obviously.
Yeah.
But no doubt, number 1 centers are very hard to come by.
He gave the franchise stability, which is something they never had before because like all their stars, like I guess prior to Barkov were there, 2, 3, maybe 4 years?
Yeah. In fact, I did just for my own edification, I did a all-time Panthers roster of 23 guys. The best guys as Panthers. So my criteria was you had to be with the team at least 3 years. It couldn't be like Dino Ciccarelli that came here for 40 games, even though he'd be on anybody's all-time team, right? He's a Hall of Famer. Or a Joe Nieuwendyk who was here for a year, right? So it had to be, at least 3 years. And, obviously Barkov's right at the top of that list. But it was an interesting exercise to come up with. And I didn't, you guys might want to do this at some point.
I think that's a pretty good idea, Kirby.
I've done one similar. Go ahead.
Defining left wing and right wing, it was just, 8 wingers, 4 centermen, 6 defensemen, and 2 goalies.
Did you have Valerie Bure on that list?
I didn't.
Okay.
And then I had like a list of 5 guys that you could certainly argue would be
scratches.
On the left side, Frank, I would have Ray Whitney and David Booth on the left side there.
Like I said, I didn't define wingers as left or right. It was just to me the 8 best.
Better question: who were the 2 goalies?
It was the guy we got now, and on the tiebreaker being the Hall of Fame, Louis.
Okay.
Because
I know some people probably
could argue Van Beesbrook. Vokoun had some great years, but I put those 3 kind of in a bucket, and the tiebreaker was Louis in the Hall of Fame.
That's it. The Vokoun thing is so crazy because our biggest problem was goaltending when we got him, and we somehow got worse. With a better goalie.
Yeah. Well, yeah. The team did. I mean, I thought he had some pretty good years.
Oh no, he was phenomenal for us.
Good.
Everyone else was a dang tire fire.
He was playing behind not very good.
I already know my I think I know my defense pairs for my all-time Panthers. Honestly.
Okay.
Like, because Ekblad Forsling is probably the first pair. I gotta have Bouwmeester in there for me.
Yep, he's in there for me.
Bouwmeester's got to be. Ooh.
I would have had Jovo if he hung around for a couple.
Sveila's left, right?
He would have been my guy.
It doesn't matter. It's just 6 defensemen.
Okay,
I had Sveila.
Ekblad, Forsling, Bouwmeester, Sveila.
And did you have Jovo in there? He wasn't there long enough, Frank.
Yeah, he was.
Okay, yeah, I'd have him in there.
I'm gonna put in. Here's my bottom.
Jovo, Bouwmeester were both in for me.
Did you have Paul Loss?
No, I had Brian Campbell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's good one. Yeah.
You know what? Instead of Jovo, because of the impact on the franchise, I'm good. And Kirby's gonna I'm gonna go Montour. I just blanked. Oh, Campbell, because because I think
I don't even know if Monter's in mine. Everyone calls me Money Monter Homer. I don't even know if he'd be in mine with Laws and Brian Campbell, Soupy there.
I think you got to have Campbell in there. Got to have Campbell in there.
I know Monter has the career franchise season, but yeah, it is a little tougher when you actually think of it like that.
It's a good exercise, and it's a good discussion point.
The forwards would be
definitely
tough.
something we definitely have to have.
You know what, guys? I got to confess, I don't have it in front of me. I have it on my computer at work. So
sneaky shout out.
Maybe be hard pressed to remember my 12 forwards.
Maybe Stu Barnes in that mix. Maybe 13.
No, Stu wasn't in. Stu wasn't in.
Okay. Always got to give him love. That's when the franchise went down.
Yes. The infamous Stu Barnes for Chris Wells trade.
I was so mad, Frank, that day.
Yeah, a lot of the people that were like the '96 fans said that trade ruined the team.
I'm with them. I totally agree.
All the vibes.
Yeah, like, it's like the 12 forwards. Like half of the forwards is on the team currently.
Yeah.
Hey, just to go back to the Barkov thing for a second, I also have a picture of me interviewing same day Seth Jones.
Oh,
and who knew, right?
Right.
Nobody at the time. Nobody at the time.
Years later. Now, quick story. Jump ahead to the 2014 draft when they had the number 1 pick. And Dale said, well, if you're going to come in the room when we're interviewing guys, let's do it at the combine, not at the draft. So the combine's in Buffalo. So we go up there, and he let us in for about a half dozen guys. Thatcher Demko being one of them. But 3 of the other guys, and again, who knew? Ekblad, Bennett, Reinhardt.
Was Draisaitl one of them?
No, we weren't in the room for Draisaitl.
Okay. But
Draisaitl was a little bit that sneaky one with Barkov as well. Those guys weren't getting talked up, from the major scout analyst departments.
Right. Really the most of the hockey media in North America, they had him in the top 10, but I don't think really anybody had him going to Florida too.
Yeah, a lot of people were projecting Jones to us because at the time we didn't have that defense prospect in the system.
Correct.
Because the year before we we would have, because 12 would have been Matheson.
Yes.
And then 11 was Huberdeau, 10 was Goodbranson.
But Matheson wasn't being projected as a number one.
Yeah, no, but yeah, I remember Pierre McGuire said, and I quote, when we drafted Barkov, I don't know how that you could pass on Seth Jones when the Panthers, when you have that kind of decor.
Yeah.
And this pick's gonna be questioned for a long time until Barkov could prove he's a home run player.
Right. And then to be fair, I said similar stuff on draft night that year because all I heard was the hype of Seth Jones. And
I was 12.
Like, right,
I didn't know what
the
the hell
number 2
the
skater.
was.
I want.
Yeah, I was.
But it took me one game to see with Barkov at Dallas.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
First game for me, I'm like, there's something here with this guy.
Well, here's the thing that sold me on it. You had draft eligible players playing in European leagues, a couple of them, right? But their role was usually maybe third, fourth line. They'd score 6 or 7 goals in the Finnish Elite League or in the Swedish League, right? And they'd get drafted. Barkov was a top 5 to 8 scorer in the Finnish Elite League as an 18-year-old, right? He had 21 goals, I think, was the number.
Against grown men.
So he was, and played in all, like he does now, played in every situation as an 18-year-old in a very good league against men. So that led me to believe that, he's going to step in and he's going to be a huge part of this team.
And even if his offense comes later, which it did, Frank, he's already got all those defensive tools from day one as a 19, 20-year-old in the NHL. That's remarkable because they usually learn the other way. You have the offense, then you learn the defense.
And when I actually started learning, knowing about the draft prospects, that's when I really got upset with the Panthers because, for 4 straight years, they did not pick a guy that I liked. Because, speaking of the freaking Krause draft, I was so mad we didn't get Rantanen.
Yeah.
I was mad.
Yeah.
One pick.
The two guys, if I remember this correctly, because I interviewed them both when the draft was in Fort Lauderdale. I think Rantanen went 8th and Tino Meyer went 9th, and then Krause was 10th.
No.
Yeah,
Meyer,
Rantanen was the guy I wanted.
Yeah, Rantanen was ninth. Meyer was eighth. Rantanen was the
Okay.
pick right before us. That's
Yeah.
why I'm so mad about that pick. And
Yeah.
then
I was actually at that draft too.
And then
Uh-huh.
when we took Knight, I wanted Cider, but then the Red Wings went way off board and took him early.
And there was a lot of defense that went off the board early.
Yeah, and then I didn't want Cam York.
Yeah.
And drafting Knight confused me because we were in on Bob like forever.
Mm-hmm.
Like we knew what we were doing. But then 2020, I wanted Lundell so bad.
Yeah.
And then we got him.
You know what the funny thing about Lundell is, it seems like he's been here forever, right?
Yeah.
And he's not yet 24.
Well, you want to go back to the playoff and how many games we've played.
Yes.
Lundell, I looked it up a couple weeks ago. He's already played in over 70 playoff games in just his short career already.
Yeah.
He's already played an extra whole season of hockey.
Yeah.
So of course he feels like a 30-year-old, 24-year-old.
Yeah. Here's the crazy thing. Lundell's won a trophy every year in the league. Rookie year, President's Trophy.
Right.
Eastern Conference champions the next year. Cup. Like,
Wow.
he's won something every year.
Team guy.
Since we're on the topic of draft stories, a couple of quick ones. The first draft I went to for Fox was the 2007 draft in Columbus. And the Panthers had the number 10 pick. And one of the guys, and again, they had let us in the room the day before. One of the guys we were in for was PK Subban, who wound up going 43rd overall.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. But Logan Couture was one of the other guys. And the Panthers, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, well, they're going to have a real shot at this guy on draft day. And San Jose traded up and took the 9th pick and took him.
Oh, yep. We did take Keaton
And we
Ellerby.
took Keaton Ellerby.
Oh, and by the way,
Oh,
Kirby,
my
2
gosh.
picks later, Ryan McDonough.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Like legit, it goes Keaton
Missed
Ellerby.
Those defenseman picks for sure.
Yeah, Keaton Ellerby, and then
the other draft that I remember as, the second day, the picks go really fast, right? And you see all the execs when it was the one location draft, they can't wait to get out. By round 6, they can't wait to get out of there, right? So names are just flying all over the place. And the Panthers didn't have a 7th round pick. And so we're packing up our gear, right? We're getting ready to take off. And, the Florida Panthers have made a trade for a 7th round pick, Mackenzie Weegar.
oh.
They did not have a pick in the 7th round. They liked him so much, playing with that Halifax team, that they traded into the 7th round and got him.
Wow.
That's crazy. That's amazing insight.
Yeah, and my all-time favorite draft story will always be. It's not even Panther related. It's Buffalo Sabres, and I think Frank and Kirby know when I'm gonna go here. Caesar and Caesar Cam. I'm not sure if you know this story, but way back in the day, like the NHL draft used to be like 20 rounds or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
And it got to a point where the Buffalo Sabres GM Punch Imlach got so bored during the draft, they decided to go draft a player that didn't exist.
Yes, I remember that.
Oh God!
They made up a name,
And they named and they came.
You mean?
Did
they draft BigCeaz?
No, they drafted Taro Sugimoto, forward from the Tokyo Katanas of the Japan Ice Hockey League. And it was an actual registered regular pick.
Wow.
That's wild.
Good times.
And the other Panthers draft stories, like when they tried to draft Ovechkin with the leap year thing.
Yeah.
I don't blame them for trying. I really don't.
That was a Rick Dudley thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
At that point, we were so down in the dumps. I mean, you got to try anything, right?
Yeah. Hey, it was worth the effort. It's worth the shot.
Yeah.
Look,
But Frank, in wrapping up here, we got to have you back on for these hangouts. I love it. And we got to have you on the podcast here again, stuff like that.
Yeah,
so I know I had to try to find you on X there because you end up on another account now. I'm like, I was asking all our community. I'm like, is this still Frank or whatever? Because I got to.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I went on one day and it says my account has been deleted or suspended or something like that, and I have no idea why.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't let me sign back into it. And so I just created another one.
Yeah, now you got to create all those because your other account had all the followers with all the football stuff you do and baseball
Oh,
stuff.
I know.
What are you up to this summer? We'd love to have you back here in the fall and stuff like that.
Summers are slow. I work at Florida Atlantic University, getting ready to start my 10th football season. So we have a show on. We have a show on FanDuel Sports Florida, formerly Fox.
So I see that the Florida Atlantic is doing the Hard Knocks thing this year as well.
No, that you know what? That's done by a booster, and it's riddled with errors and mistakes.
Okay.
It was actually from last season, but they didn't put it out until now.
Okay. Interesting.
They do some nice things, but overall, I wouldn't want to put my name on it. Let's put it that way. Okay. So I have a show called Inside the Owlsboro. I host it, I produce it, I edit it, I shoot most of it. We're going to start back up again on August 14th. So it's on FanDuel Sports Florida, and it's also on our website at fausports.com. And in the past calendar year, we did 30 shows. We did 16 football shows. We did 4 exclusive basketball shows in December, and in the spring we do 10 shows around all our sports. And it's very similar to the Inside the Panthers show that I used to do. It's a lot of personal stories, try to get compelling personalities and stuff like that. It's not just sit there for 22 minutes with the coach. Yep. I did not want to do that kind of show. So even if you don't follow Florida Atlantic, you might find some of the content interesting. Yep. We have a new tight end. He transferred in from South Carolina, and he spent his 4th of July gator hunting. So
that's a Florida thing.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And supposedly, I don't know, with the weather, he was supposed to go shark fishing this weekend. So he's a real outdoorsman, adventurous type. So we're
don't get me in trouble with everyone. That's a certain Florida thing or certain region Florida thing. Don't get me in trouble.
I was going to say,
I got
Nate Smith,
north, the central, the south. Don't get me in trouble here.
Former Florida Panther Nate Smith went to Utah because he loves hunting. So I would have loved to see Nate Smith.
Either on FanDuel or www.fausports.com. And it's called Inside the Owls. Awesome.
Read Mike's.
We'll definitely have all the links in the descriptions below on the BigCeaz show and on the Cats and Rats podcast. Definitely want to have you on my show as well, Frank. So
anytime, you guys know how to reach me.
Yeah. Appreciate it, Frank.
But
all right, it was fun. It was fun.
It's always fun with you, Frank.
Always great going down memory lane. Thanks, Frank.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank
you, Frank. Take care, guys.
Appreciate it.
But
well, gentlemen,
Caesar is going to go here because you got a show here.
Yep, I'll be recording here shortly. We have a special guest. He's known as an ambassador for the disabled community. His name is Drew, and he makes his own hot sauce. So definitely, guys, tune in this week to our show. It's going to be so much fun. Cam and I and his wife, Shauna, will be eating wings with the hot sauce. So,
and I'm definitely going to make some faces. Caesar,
either faces.
Not so much.
Are you not a spice guy? Are you not a spice guy?
No,
I can't.
So you're like
I'm the opposite, man.
Yeah.
I love spiciness.
You're Hispanic, Caesar. I would expect that.
You'd be surprised. There's some Hispanics down here.
I know, and
it drives me nuts.
And I call them unseasoned. That's my favorite thing.
I'm definitely seasoned. I'm definitely. It doesn't fit the roll up here. All my relatives boiled everything. I'm like, I need flavor in my life, so I started to take over the kitchen.
Hey,
he's there.
But man, once again, that reaction I had was earlier was I wanted the Marlins to draft Jamie Arnold, pitcher, Florida State, because go Noles, baby.
Where did he go in? Where did he end up at?
10th to the Athletics, so he went to hell.
He's going to Vegas.
It wasn't 5 years, but
I just want to mention too, our ranking shows return this week. It's going to be defense rankings. I think it's going to be Saturday. So whenever you're listening to this on Sunday, next Saturday.
And we had a trade within the NHL in the Eastern Conference, and it's with a Kirby guy going to Pittsburgh. Vancouver traded goaltender Artur Shelobs to Pittsburgh in exchange for former Panther legend son Corey Stillman's son Chase and a 4th round pick. So we could have ranked, if we waited later, we could have ranked Shelobs.
Yeah, I know. We didn't know where he was going to end up there, Cody. Going to Pittsburgh, I don't feel great about that for Shelobs, my guy.
Hey, at least, unfortunately, he's going to hell. But yes, sir, go Noles, baby.
Yeah,
my boy Jeremy there.
And go Marlins too. Yes, sir. 11-1 dub. Kyle Stowers
Yeah.
3 dingers today.
Oh,
We're
okay.
officially better than the Braves.
We're getting the baseball
on
scores,
though
and we
for-
need to wrap. We need to wrap here.
I mean, Kirby, it's baseball season. It's football season about to be now. Training camp
2 more
starting up.
weeks. 2 more weeks.
Thank God.
Don't get Caesar talking about football. He's got to go here.
No, trust
We
me.
were talking last
No.
night.
People were like, when's October start? I'm like, dude, can I get to August 1st?
Yeah, everyone's like, I miss hockey. Is that what they were saying after every game in the playoffs and down the stretch? I don't know if they were all saying that, Cody. Let's enjoy the break, everyone.
No, I
We
don't
got
think
content here anyways.
I don't think we were saying that when we were doing every stream after every freaking game every night.
We're on the
Right.
season to get going, So, anyways,
But
Thanks everybody for tuning in and on our show on both platforms. We really appreciate you guys. Don't forget to hit the like button and turn on the notification bells, guys.
and I
A
just
lot
want
of you guys that
Caesar,
are watching.
Caesar, I just want to jump in. We're super chat eligible now, so I want to throw that out there to our community. So appreciate all the donations there. Go ahead, Caesar. Sorry.
Yeah, so a lot of you guys that are watching that are on our show are not subscribed. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe and make sure and to enter in order for you guys to enter the competitions on the Cats and Rats podcast, you have to be off of private. So that way we know you guys are following us.
yeah, because we're doing quite a bit of giveaways now.
We got another signed puck coming up here. Our boy Jeremy's got some nice gifts and swag that he's going to be giving away here.
And and also I think in the future, maybe if you want to go to a game, maybe.
He's okay. No.
I don't know.
No.
Only one way to find out is to like and subscribe, because we're gonna try with these weekly streams, and then we have like the ranking shows, whatever.
Just want to get in very quickly here. Episode 55. You want to enter in the Eric Pool contest? You got to comment in episode 55 on the YouTube channel. Make sure to leave your handle there, whether it's Instagram or X, and you'll be entered into that contest coming up here. Thanks to Eric Pool.
Thanks for everyone for watching. Appreciate it once again. If you like, please leave a like, comment down below, subscribe as always. We're only 16 subscribers away from the big old 900, so we would appreciate for us to hit that number. Once again,
subscribe to C's channel as well.
Once again, so subscribe to C Samuel. Check out his latest podcast episode with Jessica Blaylock.
Very good.
I had so much fun. You guys will love it. Already got 1,000 views. Really appreciate the love and support, guys. And shout out to Lucas down here. Haven't seen him in a while in the Panther community. Glad to see that he's back. Yeah, for sure, guys.
But thanks to everyone for watching once again. And as we sign off here, as always, let's go Cats, baby.
Go Cats.